Rio de Janeiro, a vibrant city where the iconic Christ the Redeemer statue stands tall atop Corcovado Mountain, where the world-famous beaches of Copacabana and Ipanema stretch along the Atlantic coast, and where the dazzling rhythms of carnival pulse through the streets in a riot of color and music. For millions around the globe, Rio has long been a dream destination, a place of breathtaking beauty, culture, and celebration. But behind this radiant facade lies a harsher reality that many travelers rarely see. Rio is also ranked among the most dangerous cities in the world, a place where crime, violence, and deep-rooted social unrest are not confined to the shadows, but often spill into even the city's most seemingly peaceful streets. More than 12 million people are crammed together in this place, from every walk of life, from every corner of society, all concentrated in a chaotic sprawl where the rule of law barely holds its ground. Today, I'll take you deep inside Brazil's largest favela to witness firsthand the raw, unfiltered reality of life here, far from the postcards and tourist brochures. As the Western saying goes, God created the world in 6 days, and on the 7th, he made Rio. But the truth is, you would never believe that in the year 2024, places like this still exist in our world. Cramped and suffocating, this place is a maze of alleys so narrow only one person can squeeze through at a time. Trash piles up underfoot, while sewage flows openly along the ground, forming thick, black streams that reek with a stench that clings to every breath. The air is heavy with dampness and decay, following you like a shadow. Makeshift homes line the alleyways, their doors so low that adults must crouch to enter, as if even space itself refuses to acknowledge their existence. Brazil is home to an overwhelming number of favelas, and in Rio de Janeiro alone, there are more than 100. The root of this phenomenon lies in a unique housing policy. If you manage to build a house in Rio and no one challenges you for 5 years, that structure becomes your permanent home. The government will even issue you a property title. It's this very policy that has fueled the uncontrolled spread of favelas across Brazil. The houses are thrown together without permits or planning, creating entire neighborhoods with no infrastructure. Some paths are barely wide enough for one person. Waste and sewage are dumped at random. There's no centralized system for disposal. In some of these favelas, tens of thousands of people share a single basketball court. The alleyways twist and turn endlessly, crisscrossing like veins in a body, forming a dense labyrinth. It's no wonder this place has earned the title, a paradise for criminals. Many gang-related films are shot here, because once someone disappears into this maze, they're almost impossible to find again. These are the abandoned boats, once used for fishing and travel at sea, now broken and left to rot atop piles of trash. Despite living in harsh and deprived conditions, the people here have never given up their love for beauty. Sometimes all it takes is 2 plastic stools to set up a makeshift nail salon right on the sidewalk. Young girls grow up surrounded by waste and mud. Most of them never get the chance to attend school. By the age of 14 or 15, many are already considered adults, ready to carry the burden of survival on their own shoulders. You'll find their laundry rooms set up right on the roadside. The advantage? Clothes dry quickly under the scorching sun. The downside? If you leave the washing machine unattended for too long, it might simply disappear. Here, traffic jams don't require a dozen cars. One motorbike and a few pedestrians are enough to clog an entire alleyway. Convenience stores in the favela are heavily fortified, with steel doors and metal grates, leaving just a small opening to pass money and goods through. It's a necessary precaution in a place where theft happens as often as meals, but never judge the people here by appearance alone. They may not have stable jobs, but that doesn't mean they're without money. Some can easily spend hundreds of dollars in a single night, without a second thought. To venture deep into the heart of the favela, a motorbike becomes your most valuable companion. In this maze of narrow, unregulated alleyways, cars are more of a burden than a help. Only 2 wheels can truly navigate the terrain. Filming here requires extreme caution. You must constantly watch your surroundings because in just a split second, your phone could be snatched from your hand. These homes, most built illegally, form tight rows and crisscrossing passages where even sunlight struggles to enter. Outsiders avoid this place at all costs. Yet those who live here, they love it with fierce loyalty. One motorbike driver said to us with pride, "The safest place in all of Rio is right here in the favela." He explains that in this neighborhood, rules are enforced in their own way. If someone steals, their hand could be cut off. The unwritten law is brutal, but effective. Here, winding alleys are so narrow only one person can pass at a time. Strangers who step in uninvited risk their lives. That's because many of Brazil's most feared criminals, from drug dealers to street thieves, were born and raised right here. And sometimes while you're walking, someone might open a door and pull you inside. And that could be the last anyone ever sees of you. By day, the favela bursts with life. People smile, joke, dance on street corners like they have nothing to fear. You might see groups of young men laughing, showing off their moves in the sunlight. But when night falls, something changes. That same energy becomes shadowy. Faces turn cold, movements deliberate, eyes unreadable. Perhaps it's this sharp contrast in daily life between joy and danger, rhythm and risk, that shapes a generation of gifted rappers. With a natural sense of rhythm in their veins and stories forged in hardship, many Brazilians grow up with all the raw material they need to become poets of the street. The electrical system here is a tangled, chaotic mess, with electricity theft being a widespread and almost normalized phenomenon. To cope, the local power company has imposed a blanket 30% surcharge on electricity bills for all residents in the favela, regardless of whether they're stealing power or not. Without it, the company claims they wouldn't be able to maintain operations and would risk bankruptcy. And of course, when we talk about Brazil, we cannot ignore one thing: football. It's not just a sport here, it's a way of life. Every Brazilian seems to be born with the instinct to kick a ball. That's not an exaggeration. Even the street cleaners take a break from work to sneak in a quick game when no one's watching. Though the favela is built on the hillsides, the most serious problem isn't the elevation, it's the drainage. Every time it rains, the streets flood. Water gushes through alleyways and homes alike, revealing just how fragile and exposed life here really is. Travel safety warning for Brazil. Traveling in Brazil, and especially in Rio de Janeiro, comes with serious safety concerns. Many tourists have reported being robbed, even in broad daylight. Contrary to popular belief, the homeless people scattered across the streets are generally not the ones to fear. The real danger often comes from young, small-framed individuals, usually riding bicycles, who quietly circle the streets, watching for a chance to strike. If you're like me, filming or holding your phone on the street, you could easily fall victim to a sudden snatch and run. These bike-riding thieves, often young black men, will tail you discreetly. If you're not alert, they may strike before you even realize what's happened. If someone gets too close or you feel threatened, raise your voice, walk away immediately, and seek refuge in a nearby convenience store or shop. And if you're ever confronted by an armed robber, locals will tell you, your life is worth more than your belongings. Guns are real here, and so is the danger. As for the homeless population, most are not aggressive and can coexist peacefully with others. However, if you encounter someone behaving erratically, it's best to keep your distance. They could be under the influence of drugs. Never make eye contact, speak, or gesture toward individuals acting strangely. Engaging with them may result in being followed, begged for money, drugs, or food, sometimes relentlessly. Visiting the favelas, a cautionary glimpse into Brazil's underworld. Stepping into the favela feels almost exactly like what you'd imagine. Drugs, guns, and an atmosphere thick with tension. But surprisingly, it's not as dangerous as many outsiders believe. Here, order is maintained not by the government, but by the gangs. It's a kind of underworld code of honor, where strict but consistent rules keep things in check. As long as you respect their boundaries, Some locals will tell you the favela might even be safer than the city center. If you plan to visit, there are two simple but crucial rules. Do not look at things you're not supposed to see. Do not film what should not be filmed. And above all, if your gut tells you something's off, listen to it. Leave immediately. After sunset, the safest way to get around is by using a rideshare app. Walking through unfamiliar alleys or taking random taxis can put you at serious risk. In the favelas, your instincts are your best protection. Thanks for watching and exploring Rio's hidden side with me. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next journey.